Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you had a good time with the letters fa, qaf, and kaf. Now we're going to learn another symbol, and this one is another one that doesn't count as a letter. So I know we promised you 28 letters, and you notice we've been sneaking a few things in here, but in Arabic these do not count as letters. This symbol we're going to learn is called the Shadda. Shadda. Okay? And it's a very important and useful symbol. Now, it's going to be written sort of the way our short vowels were, the way we put them on top of the letters. This is what we do with Shadda. Okay, now, Shadda is an interesting looking symbol. It kind of looks like a flattened W. Some people think it looks like a bird, and it's on an angle. So, something like this. Okay, and notice I put it on top of the consonants. That's very important. Now, Shadda may not look like much, but what this symbol does is it has the effect of doubling the consonant that is underneath it. So in English, we just write the consonant twice. You learned about double letters, right? If we're writing something like the word letter, we'd write two of them to indicate that it's doubled. Well, in Arabic, we don't do that. I mean, if you were somehow writing this in a combination, you'd put a shadda over one T. This indicates that that ra is doubled, this ha is doubled, and this ra is also doubled. Well, of course, this is important in terms of pronunciation, but as you're going to learn later on, putting a shadda on a letter in a word can actually change the meaning of a word, and that's a more advanced topic that we're going to learn. So this is actually quite important. So if, for example, if I were to write this in English letters, which we usually don't do, notice I would write that, two R's, and then the rest of it, okay? And it's doubled. So the significant thing here is it indicates two of the same consonant in a row with nothing in between them. If there was a vowel sound in between these two R's or in between these two T's, you could not use a shadda. Okay? So that indicates that there is no vowel between those two Ra's. That would be unusual, but that's what it's indicating. Now, you may think this doesn't mean much, and in English it really doesn't, because a word like letter, you don't actually pronounce both T's in it. We use double letters and they end up not meaning much, which is common in English. But as we've been telling you all along here in Arabic, what you see is what you get. You pronounce every letter that you see. Okay? So in this case, the actual doubling of the consonant will be heard. There's a difference between them. So, for example, if this shadda were not here, before it was on there, I would have the word darasa. Darasa. Very simple, right? Three syllables. Darasa. Here, I'm going to have to double that ra sound. Darasa. Darasa. There is clearly a lengthening of that ra. I'm actually going to pronounce two of them in a row. Darasa. Darasa. This may sound like a small difference, but it's actually very significant because the word darasa by itself means to study. By doubling that consonant, darasa means to teach. And that's not by accident. This is the effect that that has, and you're going to learn that later on. So very significant. Same thing here, right? Without that shadda, wahada, wahada. Right? Very, very fast. Wahada, wahada. Here, I'm going to double it. Wahada, wahada. Here again. Dur, dur, dur. Okay, I'm going to lengthen that sound. Now, this can be quite difficult for English speakers to get used to because we don't tend to do this. And so a way to think of this is, and normally we don't like to tell you to write words out in English letters. It's not a good crutch to get used to. But to envision this, right? If you were to say this in English, you might say darasa. Think of it as you would pronounce it more like dar, rasa. if you paused in between them, dar, rasa, and then put them together. Actually pronounce both of them. Okay, let's take a specific example. I have here an Arabic name, a very common Arabic name, very important Arabic name. Hopefully you can recognize it. There's a meme, a ha, okay, another meme, and a dal in our vowels. Okay, you might look at this and pronounce this Muhammad. Okay, and very often it's written like that when it's transliterated into English. However, there is a Shadda on this middle letter here, meme. And the difference this has, if you look at it this way, right? In English, we would probably pronounce something like this, Muhammad, Muhammad, and then put it together fast, Muhammad. If you remember in Arabic, there actually are two memes here, and they're both pronounced. Imagine that one of them is going with the syllable before of it, and the other one's going with the other syllable. Muhammad, Muhammad, and then say that faster, Muhammad, so that you actually have both of them in there. This is what we're doing. Like the same difference with here. We have wahada, but when I double it, it would be like wah. The first of those goes with this syllable, wahada. Okay, and that's where the doubling comes in. Now, of course, this is a very difficult and tricky sound for us to hear. We're not used to this in English. People don't pronounce like letter. You would sound weird if you said that. Okay, but that's essentially what we're doing in Arabic. So we have some exercises for you to practice this, but really you're going to get used to it when you start to learn actual words, like the difference between darasa and darrasa, and you start to emphasize that. So don't be too shaken if you have trouble hearing the Shadda. Just know what it is when you see it. Okay, and we'll see you back in just a little while when you get to practice that.